everybody, welcome to week 2. This week's focus is on hips, so we're going to continue hips for a few weeks. This week, hips, as far as what I'm looking for, is stability and mobility. So I want you to be able to move one side of your body mobile while keeping the other one stable. So we're going to be moving our leg out to one side, and on the other side I want to see that our hips remain stable and don't move. So we'll be doing that from a tabletop position and from a bridge as well. And then as far as balance, when we lift our leg and have one leg go out to the side, as in tree, I want the other side of your body to remain nice and stable, so that hip is stable whereas the other hip is moving. So that's what we're working on today. A little bit of ankles and feet as well, but most of the sequence is regarding hips. The props for today are blocks and a blanket. And we are going to start in child's pose. So I'm going to get into child's pose, and then to talk you through it, I'm going to get up from that position. So you stay in there until I tell you to get out. It's just difficult for me, head down on the mat, to be able to talk you through this. The breathing that we're going to do in this practice is Ujjayi breath. So the breath is constricting the area in our throat to make that noise and to feel that air as we inhale, it coming in, and as we're exhale, it's coming out, and you can feel that air movement through your throat, and it has a bit of an ocean sound to it. So an inhale is, and an exhale is. So inhale, exhale. So let's get into child's pose. So big toes together, knees are separated about hip width distance, and we're going to sit back toward our heels. If this is tight for you in your knees, you can take your blanket and place that in the back of your legs, and then sit back, and there isn't quite as much pressure on your knees at that point. And then you'll walk your body down, place your forehead on the mat, arms are out straight in front of you. If your forehead does not reach the mat, grab a block, place your head on that block, and then arms come forward. So once you're there, take a full breath in and a full breath out. And then we'll begin that Ujjayi breath. So breathing through your nose, constricting your throat. Take a full breath in, and then a full breath out. Full breath in, full breath out. Nice deep inhale. Nice full exhale. Breathing all that air out. And then continue that deep breath. And on your next inhale, I want you to focus on opening up the area of your lungs in your back, feeling that expansion into your back. And then on your exhale, feel that release. Feel the tension move away from that area. On your next inhale, open up the sides of your body. Breathe into the sides. expanding that area of your body. And then on your full breath out, feel that area release, relax, soften. On your next breath in, fill up your belly, fill up the front of your chest, feeling that expansion. And full breath out, feel your belly soften, feel your chest soften. Notice the releasing of your muscles with that breath out. One full deep breath in, full breath out, and then press yourself up from child's pose into tabletop. So knees are directly underneath your hips, hands are directly underneath your shoulders, and if you want, you can grab some blocks. So we're going to work on stretching out the tops of our feet. So tops of feet are pressed into the mat. And if that's enough of a stretch for you, you can rest your hands on the blocks right there. If you want a little bit more, you can begin to walk your body back, resting your hands on the blocks wherever it feels comfortable. You can come all the way down. And then if you want just a tiny bit more of a stretch, you can continue to walk those blocks back until you're resting right on top of your heels and maybe coming back just a little bit. And then breathe in, filling up your lungs, feeling that fullness, and then breathe out. Release any tension you're holding in your body. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And take a few more breaths here, just feeling that fullness of your body when you're breathing in. And when you breathe out, release any tension in your body. Inhale. And exhale. And then begin to walk your blocks forward. Come up, back into a tabletop. Tuck your toes under. So here we're looking to stretch out the backs of your feet, your heels up toward the back of your ankle, and maybe a little bit in the lower part of your calf. And so again, just come back sitting toward your heels as much as is comfortable. If it's really uncomfortable for you and this is a stretch for your feet, then stay right there. So just continue to walk your blocks back as far as what's comfortable. Again, if this is comfortable, stay there. If you're pretty stretched out, pretty comfortable with coming back, then do that. If you can sit directly on top of your heels, then go ahead and do that. And so if you can sit back toward your heels, go ahead and just rest your hands on your thighs. Or if you want, you can use your blocks just to rest your hands on those. And again, deep breath in, full breath out. Nice full inhale. And a full exhale. Couple more breaths here. Filling up those lungs. Feeling that fullness in your body with that breath out. Breathing out any tension that you may be holding on to. Inhale one more time. And exhale. Nice. Okay, so come forward, untuck those toes, place the tops of your feet back onto the mat, and then we'll just set those blocks toward the top of our mat for now. And I will move this blanket over to the side. I'm going to move this mat just a tiny bit so that you can see my full body maybe just a tiny bit better. Okay. All right. So we're going to come to tabletop here. Hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Knees are directly underneath your hips. Extend that right leg out behind you and press the ball of your foot into the mat, then press back into that heel. I want you to get a nice little stretch in that calf. So we're just continuing that stretch. And then I want you at this point to release that stretch and lift that right leg up. Toes are pointing down toward the floor. Heel is extending toward the wall behind you. I want you to focus on your left hip right now, even though your right leg's up. So your left hip is nice and stable. You're pulling in that glute, and you're making sure that your right hip now, if you're focused on that, is at the same level as your left. So it's not down, it's not way up here, it's nice and level. I could actually balance a plate on your back if I wanted to. And then extend that left arm out in front of you, pinky side down toward the floor. Extend those fingers out as far in front as you can and heel all the way back as far as it can. And then on an exhale, round your back, elbow to knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, straighten. And then bring that left hand down. I'm going to move up just a little bit, so you're going to lose my head just for a moment. Your right leg is still extended out behind you. Pull in that left glute, and this is where we're talking about stability and mobility. The right leg comes out to the side, and then exhale, it comes back in. Inhale, out to the side. Exhale, back in. Inhale to the side, exhale in. So the left hip remains nice and stable at this point. I'm going to move around to the other side so that you can see me okay. So we're back in tabletop. And this time we're going to extend that left leg out behind us. Press the ball of your foot into the mat and then press back into that heel to get that stretch in your calf. Nice deep breath in, full breath out. And then on your next inhale, raise that left leg up, keeping those hips level. Extend the right arm out in front of you, pinky side down. Lift the right arm up. Keep your hips level. Extend your fingertips as far as you can in front and heel all the way back behind you as far as you can go. Nice big inhale, full exhale. Inhale and then exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, straighten, and then bring that right hand down. Keep those hips level, hug in that right glute. Make sure that that right side of your body is nice and stable, and then bring that left leg out to the side. Inhale back, out to the side. Bring that leg back. Inhale out. Exhale back. And then bring that knee down. Come back to child's pose. Big toes together, knees separated. Sit back toward your heels. Elbows down onto the mat. Bring your hands up behind you. Get a nice stretch in the back of your arms. Again, if your forehead does not reach the mat, grab a block. Set that underneath your forehead. Nice full breath in. Full breath out. And then on your next inhale, press yourself back up to tabletop. Good. Let's do a couple of rounds of cat-cow. On an inhale, we're going to raise our tailbone up, drop our belly, squeeze our shoulder blades together, head and neck comes up to follow. Inhale for cow, cat, tailbones down, round the back, press your belly into your spine, separating those shoulder blades, head comes down. Inhale for cow, tailbones up, belly drops, chest comes up, squeeze shoulder blades together. Exhale for cat, tailbones down, round that back, pressing into your hands to separate your shoulder blades. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale. And exhale. Good. All right, come back to a neutral spine. And I'm just going to turn around. You're going to tuck your toes, press up into downward dog. So hips are up toward the ceiling. Your knees are bent right now. You can pedal out your feet just a little bit. Keep those knees nice and bent. Hips up toward the ceiling. Ears are between your arms. And then find some stillness. And take your left foot and wrap it behind your right. And then come up on your right toes and then down toward your heel. Inhale, up on your right toe, down toward your heel, up on your right toes, pressing your heel down, toe, heel, toe, heel. Take your left foot, place that down onto the mat. Wrap your right foot around your left and come up on your left toes and then press that left heel down. Up on your toe, press that heel down. Up on your toes, heel comes down, up. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale on those toes. Exhale down and bring that right foot back down onto the mat and then walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Come to a halfway lift. Back is parallel to the mat. Shoulder blades are together. Hands can meet on your sides of your calves. Tailbone's pointing all the way back behind you. Head is extending all the way in front, nice long body. Exhale, forward fold. Go ahead and bend those knees. Let your belly rest on top of your thighs. Grab opposite elbows with your hands and let your head just hang. You can rock back and forth. Shake your head one way or the other. Let your body just enjoy being in this inversion. Nice full breath in, full breath out. You can always rest your hands on tops of the blocks as well, if you like that, as far as stability. It's all personal preference. Nice full breath in, full breath out. On your next inhale, come back up to a halfway lift with your back parallel to the mat. Good, squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then exhale, forward fold, keeping those legs straight. This time, tailbones up toward the ceiling. Hands are down toward the floor, or if they can't reach the floor, then you can grab onto your calves. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Again, hips up toward the ceiling. And then inhale, sweep your arms all the way up until you come to standing. Good. And then exhale, arms down by your sides. Good. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Good. Bring your hands down to your heart center. I'm going to turn toward you at this point. And I want you to close your eyes, bend your knees just a little bit, so a little micro bend in your knees, and then lift your toes up off the mat. And I want you to feel the front of your feet and the back of your feet so you can move forward and back. If it's too much of a balance challenge for you with your eyes closed, you can open them. So just wiggle back and forth, front and back, just to feel where your feet are touching into the mat, into the ground for that stability. Keep that micro bend in your knees. So find some stillness here. Keep your hands where they're at. And I want you to now think about this whole core area and tighten that up. And then think about your right glute and tighten that up. And then shift your weight over to the right side. So when you're shifting, you're still keeping your body stable. You're not going like this to shift. You're just shifting your weight over into that leg. So you could lift that left foot up without any problem, and you've got all of your body being supported by that right leg. Keep that glute nice and tight. Hands are together. Find a focal point in front of you, and then lift that left foot up off the mat, just so that your left heel comes to your right ankle. So your toes can actually be touching the mat, and that can be a balance in itself. And then if you want to go a little bit further with that, you can lift your foot up and place your foot right at your ankle, or you can bring it up towards your calf. You don't need to go any further than that at this point. Your left knee is pointing out to the side. So that's the mobility, is your left leg being out to the side. The stability is your right leg supporting your body, nice and stable. And just continue to breathe here. If you want, you can grow your branches up for a tree. And you can sway back and forth just a little bit. Kind of set your body off balance just a bit when you do that. Definitely will fall. I'm feeling my body get a little off balance when I do this. And then just come back and find your balance. Bring your hands back to your heart center. And then point your left knee forward and step your left foot down. Shake those legs out just a little bit. Your right leg just did a lot of work there. Good. And then again, plant your feet into the mat. Get that little bit of a micro bend in those knees again. And find that balance, moving side to side, front to back. And then begin to, again, focus on your core, tighten that up, and then focus on your left glute, tighten that up. And now focus on shifting your weight into your left leg, finding a focal point in front of you. Then you're going to lift your right foot up just so that your right heel comes to your left ankle. Your toes are still in the mat. This is a balance. Your knee is out toward the right, so that's the mobility in your right hip. Stability in your left hip is holding you. And then you can bring that right foot up, press it into your left calf. Find some stability there. And if you want, you can grow your branches and sway them back and forth. And test your balance. Again, notice where you need to work on that just a little bit more. And then bring your hands back together. Bring them into the center of your chest. Point your right knee forward and step your right foot down and shake those legs out. Good. Take an inhale, raising your arms up and overhead. Face the top of your mat. And then step your left foot back and plant it down at an angle. Bend that right knee and just double check and make sure that that knee is directly over your ankle. So we're coming to Warrior One. When we're in Warrior One, our hips are off to the side just a bit, naturally. So just keep that in mind. If you haven't grabbed your blocks, go ahead and grab those now and make sure that they're in an area where you can reach them. So back to Warrior One. Relax your shoulder blades down your back. And then we're going to come to triangle pose. So I want you now to straighten your right leg. Notice that your hips are still pointing off at an angle, just a tiny bit. I want you to square your hips off. So you're going to notice you're going to bring that right hip back, left hip forward just a bit. So now your hips are square this way. And then bend at the waist, coming over your right leg. You can grab those blocks and rest your hands on tops of those blocks. If you don't have blocks handy, you can always rest your hands on the sides of your legs. So back is nice and straight at this point. On an inhale, extend your head forward just a bit. And then on an exhale, you can bend over toward that leg. And then inhale, extend in front. Exhale, bend over. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend over. And then inhale, we're going to come all the way back up. Arms are overhead, palms facing toward each other. Relax your shoulder blades down your back, and then we're going to come back to Warrior One, bending that right knee. Okay, notice your hips, again, went over to the side quite naturally when we did that. Now we're going to pivot onto the ball of our left foot. So we're going to come up onto the ball of our left foot. Our right knee continues to be bent. This is crescent pose. Arms are up. Okay, it's a little bit of a balance pose here. Keep that left leg nice and straight. And then what I want you to do is the same thing. Think about your hips. And right now, both of them are going to be moving, but all we're really going to do is just bring our left foot forward. So we're just going to come to a standing position on our left foot. I'm going to move those blocks out of the way so that I can do that. So arms are up. We're going to press off that left foot and just step it forward. And then eventually what I'd like you to do is same thing that we just did in tree. We're going to hug in that right glute. We're just going to lift that left knee up. Nothing more than that. Focus on an area in front of you and then step that left foot down. Good. And then exhale for a forward fold and inhale for a halfway lift. And then exhale, plant your hands down and step back to plank. So we're going to come down to a full plank. If you want, you can come to half plank and untuck your feet. Okay, so if you're there, great. Full plank is here. We're going to shift forward just a little bit over our hands And then squeezing your elbows into your body, slowly lower down all the way to the mat. Hands are right underneath your shoulders, elbows pressed into your body. Take an inhale and come up to cobra. Hips are down onto the mat. Relax your neck. Relax your shoulders. Shoulder blades are coming together. And then exhale, lower down. And then inhale, press up to tabletop. Curl your toes under, and then press up to downward dog. Nice full breath in. Full breath out. And then walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Take an inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale for a forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Palms facing toward each other. Relax those shoulders down your back. Good. And then step your right foot forward. Plant it down at an angle. So left toes pointing forward. Left knees directly over your left ankle. Right toes are diagonal. If you've noticed, hips are this way, but our chest is pointing forward toward our left knee. Okay? So warrior one. Now we'll straighten our left leg, and those blocks are still by me. So I'm just going to bend over at the waist. Oh, first, let's talk about our hips. So left hip comes back, right hip comes forward, right? Let's make sure that we've done that. I did it automatically without telling you. All right, left hip back, right hip forward. Hinge at the hips, at the waist. Come forward, rest your hands on the blocks. If your hands do not reach the blocks, come to wherever you can reach to get that nice stretch. Hands can be on tops of your leg at any point, or you can keep them on your hips. Take an inhale and stretch forward, and then exhale, a little bit more of a fold over that leg, and then inhale, stretching forward, and exhale, lower down, and then inhale, stretch forward, exhale, lower down, and then inhale, come all the way back up. Good. Now we're going to bend that left knee. So we're back to warrior one. Then we're going to pivot onto the ball of our right foot. I'm going to move those blocks out of the way. Right leg's nice and straight. Left knee is bent. We're going to hug in that left glute just a bit, which is a little hard, I'll admit, when you're in this bent position, but it will help with the stability. Okay, so keep some focal point in front of you and step that right foot forward. You can place it all the way down on the mat if you want, or you can just press your toes into the mat. And then we're going to lift, that right foot up. Just that knee is bent at this point, just to feel that balance. And then exhale, step that foot down. Arms come back down by your sides. Palms facing forward. Wiggle those legs out just a bit. Good. And then inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into plank. Shift forward, lower down. Press your forehead into the mat. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Okay. And then arms are by your sides, palms facing toward you. So we're going to come to locust, and I'll talk you through it because I'm not sure you're going to be able to see me as I'm laying down. So tops of feet are pressed into the mat, hips are pressed into the mat, arms are by your sides, and your forehead is pressed into the mat. On an inhale, you're going to press your shoulder blades together, just squeeze them together, which brings your shoulders back. And let your head and neck follow however naturally. Your gaze is going to remain down towards your mat. Take an inhale, exhale, stay in that position. Inhale, and then exhale, lower back down toward the mat. Press your left cheek into the mat. Take a nice deep breath in. Full breath out. Press your forehead back into the mat. Arms are down by your sides, palms facing toward you. On your next inhale, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Arms will automatically come back. Shoulders will come up. Let your head and neck naturally follow. Let them remain nice and soft. Gaze is down toward the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, lower down, lowering your right cheek to the mat. Take a few breaths here. On your next inhale, place your forehead onto the mat. Press your pelvis into the mat. Now this time we're going to squeeze our legs together and we're going to bring them up, okay? So arms are by your sides, forehead's pressed into the mat, pelvis is pressed into the mat, squeeze your legs together. On an inhale, you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together, arms come back, head and neck naturally follows. Lift your legs up off the mat. So I'll come down and I'll do that position if anybody's curious. Hopefully you can see me. Take a few breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, lower down. And then press yourself up to tabletop and then back to child's pose. So again, big toes together, knees are separated, sit back towards your heels. Walk forward. You can bring your arms forward or you can bring them all the way back behind you. Whatever feels right for your body. And take a full breath in. Full breath out. Full breath in. Full breath out. On your next inhale, press yourself up to tabletop. And then cross your ankles. Sit back towards your heels. And then walk your hands back. Sit back onto the mat. If that does not work for you, then bring your feet out to the side. Come and sit back that way, and then bring your feet forward. And then grab your blocks and place those right underneath your knees. Okay, so we're going to keep that nice bend in our knees. We're going to do that same forward fold sitting down as we did standing up for ragdoll. So sit up nice and tall. And on an exhale, hinge from your hips, hinge forward to wherever it's comfortable. And we're just going to come over our legs just very gently. Take an inhale to straighten up. And then an exhale, stretch forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And continue to breathe. Take a few breaths here. And then on your next inhale, begin to walk your body back up. Remove those blocks, set them over to the side, and then we're going to move into bridge. So your knees will be bent, and you'll lay down onto the mat. I want your arms down by your sides, and you're going to press into your feet, raise your hips up off the mat. Take your arms, bring them underneath your body, interlace your fingers, squeeze your legs together. So here's where I want you to keep, again, we're going to have stable and mobile. So arms are right underneath you, hips are up, and I want you to keep that left hip stable and raise the right leg. Keeping that left hip stable. On an inhale, you're going to bring that right leg out, and then exhale, bring that leg back in. Inhale out, exhale in, inhale out, exhale in, inhale, exhale, one more time, inhale, and exhale. And then bring that right foot back down to the mat. Take an exhale, lower down onto the mat. And then I'm just going to move around on the mat so that I can do this on the other side. So knees are still bent. Feet are pressed into the mat. Arms are down by your sides. On an inhale, you're going to press into your feet to raise your hips up. And then bring your arms all the way underneath your body. Interlace your fingers, squeeze your legs together. This time your right hip will remain stable, so hold into that glute, your lower back, your core muscles. And then straighten that left leg out and bring it out to the side. Inhale, inhale out. Exhale in, inhale out, exhale in, inhale, exhale. One more time, inhale, exhale, and then bring that foot back down, lower back down onto the mat. Grab one of your blocks, take an inhale. Raise your hips up off the mat and let that block go right underneath your sacrum. Arms can be down by your sides. Nice deep inhale in. Full exhale out. Take a few more breaths here. Hug your knees in towards your chest, and then straighten your legs up toward the ceiling. Take a few breaths here. Slow your breath down. On your next exhale, bend your knees back in towards your chest, and then bring your feet toward the mat. Press into your feet, raise your hips up off that block, grab that block, set it over to the side, and then slowly lower down. Hug your knees in towards your chest. And then send that left leg straight out onto the mat. Keep that right knee hugged in towards you. Then grab that knee with your left hand, guide it over the left side of your body. For a spinal twist, right arm is behind you. Gaze can be over your right shoulder. Nice deep breath in. Full breath out. Full breath in. Full breath out. One more deep breath in. Full breath out. And then rolling onto your back, both legs straight. And then hug your left knee in towards you. Nice big hug. And then take that knee in your right hand, guide that left knee over the right side of your body. Left arm is out behind you. Gaze can be over your left shoulder. Nice spinal twist. Nice big stretch for your hip as well. Nice full deep breath in. Full breath out. Full breath in. Full breath out. Couple more deep breaths here. And on your next inhale, roll back over onto your back, straighten both legs out onto the mat. Nice and long on the mat, arms down by your sides, palms facing up. Full breath in, full breath out. Closing your eyes. Scanning your body. Beginning to relax all the muscles in your body, starting from your feet to your ankles, your calves, your thighs, and then from your fingertips all the way up your arms and shoulders, your belly and chest. Relax your neck, your jaw. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Soften the area between your eyebrows. Soften your breath. Continue to breathe here in this position. Nice full breath in, full breath out, softening your body. And then begin to awaken your body by wiggling your fingers and toes. Licking your lips and swallowing. Take a deep breath in, raising your arms up and overhead and pressing your heels away from you, giving your body a nice big stretch. And then a full exhale, bending your knees in towards your chest, giving them a nice big hug. Rocking from side to side, massaging out your back just a little bit. And then rolling over to your right side, pausing there, making a pillow for your head with your right arm. Take a few breaths here. And then carefully press yourself up to a comfortable seated position, placing your hands on your thighs and closing your eyes. Taking a full inhale, raise your arms up and overhead, palms meeting. Exhale, bring your thumbs down to your heart center and bowing your head. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you take care of yourself with joy. May you be safe. It is with gratitude that I thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you enjoyed this practice. I look forward to seeing you when we can get back together. Take care. Love you.